Hey, welcome back to our TI edition of, I guess kind of unmuted. It's still Div and I, so that counts. And we certainly don't hold back our feelings and everything. So today we have a little bit to talk about with the lower bracket eliminations. We had two series for that. The first one was Alliance.
T1.
Well, yeah, I was thinking who went home. T1 versus Alliance. And we saw our first of our two former TI champions go home with that. T1 definitely looked a lot better. They looked more focused. And Alliance just seemed to have a whole lot of trouble. So it didn't take very long. It was actually pretty quick games, I'd say. And
It was, and I hate to say it, but I think Alliance is the only team that came to this TI without a coach, and they kept insisting on this idea that if they don't find the right person, better not have anyone with them, And I think that kind of shows in a tournament where you have to be fast with your ideas and your preps. It shows that you perhaps need at least an analyst or something, someone to help you. And at the same time, T1 have March behind them, a brilliant mind. Remember that March was behind TNC when they were super successful in Southeast Asia, and they actually got to TI. I guess that's for me, I think, the biggest thing that separated these teams in the lower bracket, the way how you prepare for it.
well, okay, but then what's Evil Genius's excuse? And we move to the other lower bracket game here. Our other series.
Unfortunately, we've talked about this on the podcast before. Sid has actually mentioned it with Freddy a few days ago. With Evil Geniuses, the problem is that while they are super good at what they play and how they play, they are very predictable. Once the draft starts, from the first pick, to the last pick, who plays what. You understand their game plan, their timings, everything. I even asked them in the press conference why they are not more flexible, and they kept insisting on we will play what we know it's good, what we know it fits us. And again, I think this is like 4th, 5th year in a row, Evil Geniuses, where you know exactly what Bulba does in those drafts, and yeah.
But what I find interesting is they were, they had brought Dr. K on board and everything, and I understand that, he has a lot to do with the mentality and kind of the emotions, all of these parts of the game, not obviously drafts but I would still think that maybe addressing something like your strategy, like you said, flexibility, predictability, things like this would be something that might be addressed in those sessions. And clearly they weren't. I mean, they took the first game off of Vici Gaming. And then it was like they got figured out, and then the next two
because
games,
what they did in first game was to play super aggressive, super fast. They were playing as 5 and swarming Invictus Gaming, and they tried to do the same in the second game, and IG was like, no, yeah, and IG was like, no, you're not doing that again. You TP, I TP 3 more,
right?
And this is how the game ended.
And it was the same even in the third game as well. They went for that fast early, and Vici Gaming just they weren't having it.
Yeah. And speaking about Dr. K, I guess his hard work will start only now when he has to put Artizi back on track, it's heartbreaking to see Artizi again missing on TI stage.
And EG was pegged to be, top 3 or so, but before the going into the event, I think in group stage already everybody started to think maybe not so much, but before the event even began. So it was really tough. So 2 tough goodbyes, just in terms of TI history and everything. We see 2 championship teams going down and everything. But now we move to more exciting news, at least, and to the upper brackets. where we had some good news for Team Secret.
Already securing their best placement ever at TI. Yeah, that's
top
good
3.
news.
Yeah. No matter what, they got at least the top 3 placement.
At TI9, they were top 4, which was back then their best to date, and keep in mind what special meaning this TI has for Papi. And I strongly believe, I said that when I did their TI profile, I strongly believe that they on purpose slowed down before TI to not put a target on their back again, because every time they came into TI as main favorites, and it didn't go well on the tournament itself, because of course everyone was prepared for them. Now they even, they weren't the best team. I mean, after the group stage, I was like, okay, this is a top 8 probably finish for TI for Team Secret at this TI, and they just show what kind of beasts was lying in there, and how hungry they are for this.
They didn't quite erase the target from their back, though, because in the press conference, when LGD was asked, who do you think is the toughest or who do you fear the most type of thing, they pinned it and said Team Secret. And Ame was asked, who do you think is the best carry player? And he said Matumba Man. So I think they, and LGD is, the team to look out for as well. This TI, I really think we'll see a grand finals of Team Secret and LGD at this point.
But we'll have to wait a few more days until we will be able to see if Papi is actually fighting for the ages. The upper bracket finals are only on the 16th. I don't even know what day is today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Don't ask me. I don't know that.
Today is Thursday, the 14th. So
so in 2 days, we're going to have the upper bracket finals. Until then, we're going to move into more eliminations tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shattered dreams,
So first up will be Team Spirit versus OG. And, Team Spirit has a lot of spirit. They've got a lot of spunk. They've done great. No matter what happens to them tomorrow, they at least bow out nothing short of 7th to 8th place, which is $1 million in their pocket and something to be quite proud of. But,
I think, I mean, people
think they have a chance.
People that know me, I can't hide it too much. I'm not exactly an OG fan, but someone who respects them a lot. And I've said it so many times how much I respect the fact that they keep going for this and they are still pushing. I even asked Seb in the press conference what keeps him motivated or what keeps the 3 OG guys that already won 2 TIs, and he said it's the team spirit and how much we can achieve together, and we are just playing for the magic. And those are beautiful words, but I feel like this year what we're gonna see tomorrow morning is that the torch will be passed to the new generation. I find this like it will be hard for the OG fans and for the OG itself and for Sumail. I hate to think about that, but I have some sort of feeling that it's the 10 TI when this is the perfect team to pass the torch on.
All things considering, Sumail's pretty lucky to even be playing in TI, considering he had no DPC season for the most part. So, I mean, as much as, it would be sad to not see him be able to progress further, there is something to say about the fact that he's even on the stage right now. So, but yeah, and I think Team Spirit has a chance to be able to take them down in a best of 3. OG hasn't been playing nearly as clean.
No, even in their Quincy Crew game, I mean, if Thompson wouldn't have shown up, Thompson showed up so much in that series. He literally carried. Yeah.
And then the other
lower bracket
is T1 versus Vici Gaming, and Southeast. Don't DDoS us again, okay? And our site. I'm sorry, but I think T1 will have a hard time against Vici Gaming. I mean, I think T1 has been looking better, but I think Vici Gaming is just.
To me, Vici Gaming are still a bit of an enigma, because if I'm looking at their bracket history or even the group stage history, they were so and so. And today's game with the Evil Geniuses, I think it was mainly on Evil Geniuses lost and their drafts and the way they draft, as I said. And
they definitely, even in so the first game was this very quick one-sided thing. The second game, they looked sloppy in the beginning. Like, it felt like there was some miscommunications. There was some disconnect between like rotations or what to do or some plays. But it was, I guess, maybe the perseverance and just kind of not losing their cool that kept it going long enough to get past EG's timings and so on, that kept things together. And then, and I think that might be what still might come out ahead for them, is that that perseverance, that cool, collected, like they won't panic right away, even if things start to go wrong. The experience, those kinds of things, might be what come out ahead of T1, especially because I feel like T1 has been very kind of like hot and cold. Like
I get what you mean
with them.
Yeah, I get what you mean. They still learn a lot about themselves, and they have TI debutants here, but I don't want really to go into that. But remember that Cuckoo had a very bad year with China, and he was even booed on the TI stage because of that in TI9. He wants to clear his name for sure, and although it's already 2.5 years past that, I think something fuels him more than just advancing further in a bracket. Even March said that. I asked March why Southeast Asia was through the season so unstable and so up and down, and he said this scene lacks leadership, good captainship, good captains. He also said that Cuckoo is on the path, on his way to become one. I think that's why I think this is a learning process for T1, and as long as they don't fear or have any pressure on them, I think this learning process can only get you to better.
Right.
I'll give a chance to T1 in this, just because as far it goes this TI, I'm not very convinced about Vici Gaming. I think they had a few lucky wins, if you want, or they've been given the victories too easy by some teams.
But that just shows again that they can capitalize on those openings, on those mistakes. And if T1 is still learning. All right. So I got Team Spirit most likely over OG, Vici Gaming over T1, and I'll go with, well, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to agree with you. We'll definitely see CIS in the semifinals of the lower brackets, depending on where we go from there. All right. And then you've got what? T1 over Vici Gaming?
And OG versus Team Spirit over OG, and then Team Spirit over Virtus Pro.
All right, there we go. Let's see how well we hold up. So everybody else, let us know what your predictions are. We'll be watching all together tomorrow to see, and moving into the weekend for wrapping up soon. Yay. Good night.
Bye.